Hey everyone, Captain Larry here, along with Mackenzie, and today we're out on the Bering Marine Center Console 30. We're down in Palm Bay, Florida. We're out for a nice boating ride today, and you know, if you boat long enough, sooner or later, something's going to go wrong. So we're out and we've lost battery power, and so the question came up with Mackenzie, what do we do next? I said, well, fortunately for us, we have a membership with a towing company. So we thought it might be interesting to show to you guys what goes on when things don't work on your boat. What is your plan? Having a membership or having someone to come to your aid is priority one. So come on, let's talk to the sea tow captain that's come here to help us. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you? What seems to be the problem?
I am good. We've lost all battery power or contact to the engines. We can't get it to fire up. We tried everything, so we need a tow, and we're probably about 10 miles from our dock.
Well, we can do that without a problem.
Well, I'd like to introduce Mr. John Donaldson with Sea Tow. I've known John for a long time, great guy. He's been in the business. How long now, John?
About 30 years.
About 30 years, and we thought it would be good to get some knowledge from John, some experience. I know when you're chatting with friends about things happening on the water, it always comes up, you know, well, is it too expensive? What happens if I don't? So, John, tell us a little bit about benefits of being a member of a towing company.
Well, if you're a member of Sea Tow, you get priority service. So busy weekend, like we'll say Memorial Day or 4th of July, and we've got multiple calls, that member gets priority service to a non-member. That's the number one part of it. The other one too is it does not cost you anything. You know, if you need to tow back to where you came from, we're going to do it within reason.
Now, John, I'm 10 miles from where Mackenzie and I put in. Are you going to take me to just the nearest dock, and then I got to go get my truck? What am I?
No, we're gonna take it to where you came from. As long as it's, you know, something we can do, we're going to do it for
So
you.
I have a base membership.
Yep.
I'm 10 miles from the dock,
Yep,
and I'm not going to get a hidden fee or a trick when we get back.
The only way we would do something different is if there was let's say there was bad weather, we could get you to a safer place, let's say a closer ramp, because you left from a ramp, and we'll get you a ride to your truck and trailer.
So pretty much safety is the number one.
Safety is the number one thing.
But under conditions like today, I go back to the dock I came from. I think another question our listeners are going to be interested in, and this comes up when I'm talking with my friends, all right? Let's say that we couldn't get started today and I didn't have a membership. So can I pay you for the service? Is it
Absolutely.
what am I looking at expense?
Absolutely, we can do the job no matter what. It is very expensive. It would be well over $1,000 for the 10-mile job.
Wow. And what is the price of the membership?
Membership's $199 for the year.
Is that fairly common throughout the industry, regardless of the company? Is there?
Well, you're covered with that $199. You're covered wherever you go. So if you take your boat up to Maine, you're covered. You take it down here into Florida, you're covered. So you're covered wherever you go. So yes, it's that $199. We have one recreational membership. We don't have levels. One-stop shop.
All right. Now this question comes up: if I'm out on Mackenzie's boat, sometimes I like to borrow her boat, so I'm taking it out for the day. She's not on board. I have her boat.
Yep.
I broke down.
You're covered on that boat as long as you're in what's called sole possession of the vessel. So you're borrowing Mackenzie's boat. She's not on board. You're covered.
Now, John, have I got to have a letter or some authorization from her?
No, not at all. You're covered. We're gonna bring you back in.
So kind of peace of mind for her is the fact I've got her boat, but she knows it's at least going to come home if some mechanical failure.
We'd love to see her as a member as well. So,
well, I think that'll be okay. We'd probably talk her into that. A few other things that come up, we talked a little bit about in the past. I'm out running, you know, we're from North Carolina. We run the waters from Pamlico Sound out to Ocracoke and back, all right? A lot of shoaling. Every once in a while, we're trolling, we're fishing, we're excited, and we take our eyes off the chart. Now I'm aground on one of the bars out there. Mm-hmm. Do I call you? Is that a Coast Guard thing? What?
Well, the first question we're going to ask is, were there any injuries, and do you need any, you know, is there an emergency on board? Are you taking on water, that kind of thing? As long as you just ran aground, give us a call. We're going to go ahead and take care of you.
Now, probably don't need a whole lot to get off ground,
Right.
but give me a little bit about the
So the big question is there's a difference between hard to ground and soft to ground. So I'm going to use two different extremes. Soft to ground is you were trolling, like you said, and tide went out in a spot that you thought had deeper water and you got yourself stuck. Just can't get yourself out of there. Happens all the time. We'll pull up, hook up to you, make sure everybody's safe, get you back into deeper water. The other extreme is it's pouring rain, you're in a rush, you can't see real well, and you launch yourself up onto the high and dry,
completely out of the water.
Completely out of the water. That's considered a hard ground. There could be charging. If it's something I can hook up to you and yank you off without a problem, not a big deal. But if we need to get airbags or another boat or special equipment to get you off, there will be a charge for that.
Okay, I think that's great information for our viewers to know. So if you can hook to me, bow, stern, whatever you recommend, and you ease me back into the water, I'm still covered under the one
Under the membership, correct.
No hidden fee,
No fee.
You hear stories where someone charged me by the length of my boat, but if you were able just to pull me back off, it's still covered under.
Still covered under your membership.
Wow, that's great to know. One other thing I'd like to ask you, all right?
Anything.
In the insurance process of my boat, all right, my insurance company offers me towing coverage. All right, pros and cons. Am I better off just to throw it in with my annual premium, or tell me the advantage of disadvantage?
The advantages are at least you have something. Disadvantage is a lot of the insurance companies who say they have a towing rider.
Mine would be $500 worth of coverage.
Right.
Just a basic plan that they have.
For a basic plan, $500 will probably not, will definitely not cover this job. It probably wouldn't cover most jobs. Other part is, if you read the fine print, they only cover you to the nearest safe port. So if we're going,
I'm not going back to
you're not going back to
your 10-mile week round.
we could tell you that there. They're
But I've only got
covered. They're not going to reimburse you for it all.
So I only have $500 worth of coverage with my premium.
Right.
You're saying if you tow me back 10 miles, that's over $1,000.
Over $1,000, so there's going to be money out of your pocket.
And if I have insurance coverage, you're going to just tow me to the closest dock.
If you don't want any money out of your pocket.
Gotcha. And even that might exceed.
Even that may exceed it, correct.
Wow.
The other thing is you don't get priority service. You're going to have to pay me first and then get your money from your insurance company. So there's a hassle of making sure you have a receipt, making sure all the documents are signed properly, making sure that they get everything they need. We're going to help you on the way so you don't get on it, but it is a hassle. With
Okay, so the insurance company doesn't pay you directly? I've got to pay you, and then I have to go submit a claim, maybe?
Correct. And then that's the other thing is it is a claim that you're submitting.
Well, that's great information. I'm sure our viewers will enjoy that.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that say that when they sign up with CETO or sign up with their insurance company, they say, well, they told me I have CETO with the insurance. Only way you have CETO is if you sign up with CETO.
Now, you show up. We'll close this up here pretty quick, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You show up to my boat. Do I need to show you proof of membership? I know how to contact you. Channel 16 Coast Guard will call you for me, right? I can call the 1-800 number. I can call you directly.
Correct.
But when you get here, how do I prove to you I am a member?
Well, we're going to figure that out when you call us. So if you call us on the radio and we're going to say what phone number is associated with your membership, we can look you up through there. We can look you up through your name. We can look you up through your address. So, or if you do have your membership card with you and you have your number, we can look you up through your membership.
Okay, so don't have my wallet.
You're good to go.
You still can.
We can look as long as we can verify that it's through your whatever phone number is associated with the membership, we can find it.
Wow, that's great to know. So that covers a little bit of things you just need to know before you go out regarding if you boat long enough. I promise you, happens to us all. Something's going to go wrong. You're going to need some assistance. And for a while, under $200 sounds like quite the bargain for me. One final thing, I want to get Mackenzie to kind of pan on this boat that John came out to service us with. John, what year model was this boat?
This is an 18.
This is a 2018 Bering 28. This is our rib version. John's been running this boat out here for quite a while. John, do you mind telling us just a little bit about the rods, maybe some performance numbers? You are one of the first commercial guys out here with this particular rig and setup. Tell me what you think if you don't mind.
I would have a whole fleet of them if I could.
We'd like to see that.
It runs like nothing I've ever had. The fuel economy is definitely the biggest sell on it. It's fast. It's the fastest boat that I've ever had. Towing wise, I'm not really concerned about the speed. I'm more worried about the fuel economy, especially with the price of fuel today.
Now, how much would you say you've saved annually in fuel compared to a standard power cat with no fuel? I know you have some of those.
It's thousands of dollars. It's I'm burning about a third less fuel than. Well, I'm sorry. Take that back. I'm burning 2/3 less.
Wow. So the hydrofuel, you reduce the drag, you don't work your engines as hard, and all that comes back in your pocket by the amount of less fuel you put in the boat annually than what you were doing.
Absolutely.
Performance, what about the ride? I know you get 60 mile per hour wide open on this boat when you need to, but what about cornering, performance, choppy seas?
Choppy seas, it eats chop like nothing I've ever seen. It's actually like a magic carpet. I've had one of my guys say it's kind of like driving a Mini because it handles like, as opposed to a pickup truck. It just handles things. It rides on a rail. Is what he uses the words for. So, and it really does. It handles like nothing I've ever ridden before.
The hydrofoil technology under this boat, it's been around some time. One of the things that we like to boast about with Bering Marine, we took what was and we kept tuning, we kept adjusting, we kept playing with it. Really done our homework from engineering right down to R&D to perfect the performance of the boat. Now later on, we're going to show you the performance of the CC30 that we're out on. We'll talk about those numbers in a later video, but we really want to thank John Donaldson with Sea-Tow taking this time, coming out. We hope that we've shared some information, maybe even answered some of your questions regarding towing memberships, riders, this kind of thing. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call or contact us at beringmarine.com. Thank you.